Well, hello and welcome, everybody. This is Ken D. Foster, your host for the Voices of Courage show. And today, our show is all about you and the filters that you are seeing your life through. Let me explain. I love taking pictures, taking photographs. I consider myself an amateur photographer. When I look through the lens of the camera, I capture the image, and now with technology today, I can take those images and put them through a filtration process. I can add color, I can mute color, I can add contrast, I can increase the lighting, I can trim the picture until it matches out what I want to see in that photograph. Well, the same thing happens with our life filters. We either see life in black and whites or grays or muted colors, or we clip around, we only say focus, we don't see the whole picture, or maybe we see vibrant colors, but it all depends on the filters that we're looking through. A filter of gratitude will change how you look at your life. I think most of us would agree with that. Also, a filter of maybe anger or resentment will do the same. So some filters will empower us, while other filters will just take you down a road where you're making inappropriate choices. We've all been there. I know I sure have. Today, my show is called The Courage to Build Your Immunity System, and I have two experts who will be talking about how to take off the filters that are stopping you from not only having vibrant health, but also to have that vibrant health generate wealth and abundance in your life, right? So that you have a bright future. So my guests are Dr. Rupa Chari and Dr. Janelle Kim. But before I get to my guests, I'd like to take a deeper dive with you on how to identify some of those filters that are disempowering you so that you can get rid of them. How cool would that be? Well, here's what I want to say. Well, actually, before I do that, let me do this. I have a brand new sponsor on our show. And if you have a dream to create a wellness product, I'd like to talk to you about JBK Wellness Labs. They're a respected contract and white label manufacturer who helps companies develop and manufacture dietary supplements, topical care products, beauty products, and hemp-based CBD products. JBK Wellness products can be found in high-end resorts, including Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, as well as nationally recognized grocery chains such as Whole Foods. They're going to walk with you through each step from concept to finished product. If you'd like to take your product or service to the next level and get it to market, then I encourage you to go to jbkwellnesslabs.com, and they will help you take your product to the next level. I hope you check them out, jbkwellnesslabs.com. Okay, so let me take a little deeper dive with you into identifying the filters, which ones are blocking you from seeing reality clearly and making good choices, and the ones that are empowering you. All right, let's talk about the ones that are disempowering you. What are some of the symptoms here? Well, you have stop-start patterns in your business. You start to take care of your business or even your health. You start to take care of your health and now you stop it. Or you start to generate your dream and now you stop it. Or your business starts to work, but it stops working. Or your health starts to work. You start having vibrant health and it stops working. Or your dreams are put on hold. Or you just maybe feel stuck, that maybe you're living in a place you don't want to live. You're working in a place you don't want to live or be. Maybe you have unmet dreams. You sometimes get upset easily. These are all symptoms that you have filters or beliefs underneath those filters that you're seeing life through. So what happens is you're not experiencing all you can be and all your life can be. So what's the solution here? Well, if you are not tuned in to your inner wisdom, life will be like this forever. So where does wisdom come from? Well, you can align with your highest self by stilling your mind and tapping into that 0 point field or the superconscious mind and develop your intuition, which I highly suggest. And you can use your mind to daily tap into deep esoteric wisdom and wealth building success principles to help you establish what that wisdom can be for you. In fact, for some of you, you know that I wrote a new book. And that book is called The Courage to Change Everything: Daily Strategies and Essential Wisdom to Unlock Your Inner Genius. And the reason I wrote that book is so that you could daily tap into your creative power by tapping into your wisdom, which will change the filter that you're seeing through. You won't have a distorted filter anymore with stop-start patterns. You'll be able to tune into your intuitive wisdom, which is the superhighway of information, and be able to create more wealth and more health and more success in your life. You know, anything outside of tapping into your wisdom is like putting a Band-Aid on the problem that you're stuck with, right? Wouldn't you agree? You've tried so many things outside of yourself. Why not take a deeper dive inside of yourself? You can get the book at couragetochange.us. Again, couragetochange.us. And by the way, right now, I'm offering my famous Release, Renew, Evolve program when you buy that book. It's a $200 value. The book's only $35, but that's $200 value. And it'll help you, again, to take a deep dive into the subconscious mind, release any kind of hurts or harms or worries or guilt or shame or anything that's underneath the surface, so that it's like taking a dark pair of sunglasses off. You'll be able to see your life in a whole different way, and you'll be a lot happier as a direct result of that. So I hope you check me out on that. All right, I'd like to get to my first guest. She's waiting patiently in studio with me. Her name is Dr. Rupa Chari, and Dr. Chari is a medical doctor who combines her training, experience, and expertise in integrative medicine, along with her traditional medical background, to provide the best quality health care for her patients for over 21 years. I do want to say this about Dr. Chari. She's a hypnotist. She's certified in hypnosis. She's also certified as a thought field therapy specialist, neurolinguistic programming, and integrated guided imagery. All of this will become clear to you why I mention that as I speak to her, because she has some tools and abilities to take your health and completely change it. So, Dr. Chari, welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here. Wow.
Thank you. And it's great to be here.
It's so good to have you. What inspired you to go into the advanced integrative medicine? I think let's just start there. Let's take a deep dive.
Sure. So as we were growing up, our mother is a visionary herself, and everyone calls her Mama Chari. And since we were growing up, she would always teach us about natural ways of healing and mind-body medicine and spirituality, as did our father, and bring in healers from all different walks of life and different countries, different cultures, who really and taught us about, integrative medicine, natural healing, detoxification, and of course, spiritual principles. And so this was ingrained in my brother Deepak and myself since our childhood. And then what happened was our father passed away from a massive heart attack when he was only 50 years old. And my brother and I were teenagers at the time, and our mom was very young. And so this caused us as a family to get together and ask, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And how can we prevent this from happening to others? So we wanted to create a new healing model where we would have a center where we would give our love, our compassion, provide professional services, but make people feel very safe. And then combining a holistic approach, addressing their physical needs, their nutrition, natural remedies, and then mind-body medicine, leading-edge technologies, as my brother is an engineer and biofeedback specialist, and integrating the best of all worlds. And I also use traditional medicine or allopathic medicine, when necessary as well, to get to the root cause.
Very good. Well, what kind of conditions do you treat? And I guess what I want to ask too is not only that, what kind of conditions are you seeing right now with the shutdown and everything that's going on in the world?
Absolutely. Well, we're seeing, everything, actually stress. This is the number one issue we're seeing is people are being affected because of the stress, the fear, the anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. And, even the Centers for Disease Control, they say this many years ago. They said up to 90% of all doctors' visits are due to stress related illnesses, which again goes back to fear and anxiety and overwhelm, anger, frustration. So we're seeing the physical symptoms because of that, which could be gut issues, it can be weakened immune system. And then everyone's fearful, oh my God, if I have a cold or cough, does this mean I have COVID when they it could be just allergies or, a common cold, just even which comes from the stress. And so, but we're seeing a lot more. I mean, there's physical issues, and adrenals have been affected. So people are feeling exhausted. They're having trouble sleeping. Their hormones are out of balance, especially with women with hot flashes and night sweats. And then of course the emotional component, which is so important to address.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And so I guess everybody's wondering. I guess I'm wondering. I'm going to get a little off cue here, but do we need to wear masks right now?
I know that's the biggest topic right now, biggest debate. But the problem is when people are wearing masks when they're exercising, when they're driving their cars, it's lowering their oxygen levels. And we've literally, as we're going for our walks, we're literally seeing people almost pass out as they're even just going for a simple walk or walking or doing more vigorous exercise outside. We've heard of people crashing their cars when they're wearing masks while driving. So, and I know at this point we still have to wear masks when we go into stores and all, but ultimately what they say is because it's lowering our oxygen levels, increasing our stress hormones, it can, and actually the viruses themselves are too small, they can pass through the filter of our masks. And then we keep touching our faces because of the mask that it may even be more problematic in some cases. And especially with the elderly, and if they have underlying heart disease or lung conditions, when the masks are actually lowering their oxygen levels, that can be more of a problem. So we need, without the mask, when you go outside, go for a walk, please do not wear a mask. And if you wear your mask in the store, take it off the second you're done with it. You want to minimize use of the masks because it can actually end up being potentially more harmful. Plus, it creates a breeding ground. If it's sweaty and grimy on the mask, it can create a breeding ground for bacteria and viruses. Plus, you end up inhaling more of the carbon dioxide you're trying to breathe out and toxins and even viruses your body may be trying to get rid of.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I'm glad I asked that question. What are some of the natural approaches that you use to treat patients over the years, and maybe some of the results that you've had with that?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of my patients tend to be women, over the age of 40 who are going through a transition in their life with their, menstrual cycles, and they may be getting hormonal changes. And then, of course, women also who have gone through menopause. So I work and who are facing now many of the similar struggles, such as weight gain, especially that belly fat, night sweats, hot flashes, insomnia, mood swings, and also for men. And so, my patients will end up bringing in their significant others because it's so important for men as well to address all of these issues and to be very proactive. And so but I combine, I get a very detailed history, do a physical exam, and then very detailed lab work, and I say from here to here is normal versus here to here is normal, so we can really be proactive and catch things early, and then give them customized natural remedies, address their stress. And then we have wellness technologies from Germany, which are at least 30 years ahead of their time. So, and by that, then they can lose weight, balance their hormones, have more energy, be happier, healthier, and they actually look and feel years younger too.
I just love that. Well, listen, I got to give a little shout out to a couple of sponsors, and then I want to take a deep dive with you and how we can build our immune system. Plus, I want to let people know how to get a hold of you also. So let me just give it a shout out, a couple of my sponsors here. So, all righty. There comes a time when you know you need to restart and regain control of your life. A time to seek freedom from anxiety, addiction, and other issues that may be bringing you down. A time to heal, a time to reemerge your real self, your real you. Via Kalima in La Costa, California offers that renewal. Villa Kalima is a holistic residential recovery program exclusively for women for individualized treatment. They offer proven clinical and holistic therapies for the mind, body, and spirit to assure successful recovery. Via Kalima focuses on healing the cause, not temporarily masking the symptoms. It's the only way that you can recover fully. So Via Kalima is located in a beautiful, peaceful resort-like setting, and they are licensed and accredited residential treatment center, accepting a variety of healthcare insurances. If you'd like to get a hold of them, it's Via Kalima, Villa, Kalima, Kalima. You can Google it, or you can give them a call. They're in La Costa, California at 760-814-8214. That's 760-814-8214. Also, I'd like to mention, have another new sponsor that I'd like to talk to you about. If you are looking for an effective, natural, science-based supplement, which will improve the quality of life for people with chronic conditions, this is something I'd like to recommend. It's called Curelin, and it's 100% natural glucose support supplement for people looking to maintain healthy blood sugar levels without negative effects. It works by blending ancient Ayurvedic practices with modern science and technology into a spectacular synergistic glucose supplement formula. Each Curelin capsule is manufactured close to the source using only premium ingredients. To learn more, just go to CureALife, CureALife.com, CureALife.com. When you get there, when you click on the Shop Now button, if you put in the coupon code COURAGE, that's easy to remember, Voices of Courage, COURAGE, you're going to receive $20 off your first order, and you're going to get 15% off your sales for the rest of the year. How cool is that? Again, CureALife.com. If you have issues with low blood sugar and you'd like to have some regulation in that, go check them out. They're awesome. All right, I'd like to get back to my guest here. If you just joined us, I'm talking with Dr. Ropachari. Dr. Chari is an MD, a medical doctor who combines her training experience and expertise in integrative medicine along with traditional medicine background to provide top quality health care. She's been doing it for over 21 years. All right, Dr. Ropa, let me ask you, how do we build our immune system?
So this is such an important question and more critical now than ever before we head into, the fall and the winter. So one thing that is very important to know, and even the ancients in Asia, way back when in India, China, they knew this over 5,000 years ago, is that the health of our immune system is determined by the health of our gut. And when I'm saying gut, I mean the health of our digestive system, because 70% plus of our immune system is derived from our digestive system. You can think of it as our first line of defense for whatever we eat or drink. And so it's very important to take care of the health of your gut. Now, because our agricultural industry has been affected, so many people have food sensitivities, not allergies like a peanut allergy, but food sensitivities. And that can be used because of the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides that are being sprayed on our food, because of genetic modifications of food, and so on. So that creates inflammation in our gut, which can then cause leaky guts. So the way to decrease the inflammation in our gut is there's so many things that we can do. One of which is collagen. And even ancient Ayurvedic texts talked about, broth and bone broth. And so for those of you who eat meat, you can take bone broth, and maybe you maybe even remember your parents or grandparents would give you, chicken soup then when you weren't feeling well. That was because the broth has many healing properties, which is because of collagen. And collagen is like the basic matrix in our entire body, not just our
Mhm.
digestive system, but in our bones, in our muscles, everything. It's like the glue that holds everything together. So collagen, you can either make it at home, the bone broth, or buy supplements from the store. And also, if you're vegetarian or vegan, they have like the building blocks to make collagen in like amino acids that you can get at health food stores as well. So there's many, many different options now. And the building blocks are, amino acids, but of course, fruits and vegetables as well. But gut health is really, really important. I can't emphasize that enough. And then there's other things you can do as well. So
Well, okay, I love this, and this is a great discussion because I know a lot of people are really concerned with building their immune system and building it permanently. Listen, if your immune system is down and damaged, can you still rebuild it?
absolutely, absolutely. And there's, different supplements you can use, but, always starting as food is the foundation, eating foods that are very rich in vitamin C, whether it's, broccoli and cabbage and bell peppers and um, tomatoes and fruits like papaya, limes and lemons and, the citrus fruits. Kiwi is also another one. But all the vegetables and fruits in general, we need to increase our intake of fruits and veggies. And then there's herbs like garlic and ginger and onions. These all also really help boost the immune system. And then there's different supplements as well.
Do the foods have to be organic, or should they be? Does it matter? Does that play a part here?
Well, ideally, it's best to buy organic, but because of the wind, the sprays are going on the foods nowadays, so whether organic or not. So even if you buy organic, you have to wash the food really well. But still, at least you can bring down the amount of some of the chemicals and sprays that are used on the food uh, by buying organic. But whether you buy organic or conventional, wash the food very thoroughly. But in my opinion, it's still better to buy organic to at least lessen some of the burden of the toxins on our body.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Well, all right. So we're going to reduce stress. We're going to eat healthy. What about exercise? That's a good one. And I think that's a piece a lot of people leave out. It's just my guess.
Definitely. Exercise is one of the most important things, and especially now, getting outside to exercise. But here's an important thing is that a lot of people think that maybe they should overdo the exercise. But when you overstress your body with exercise, and again, everyone's set point for that is going to be very different. You have to see what your tolerance point is, but don't overstress yourself with exercise. Don't get to the point where you feel absolutely depleted and exhausted, because that will kind of stress your body even more, because your body doesn't know if you're running from a bear or a tiger or you're just working out really hard. So so but make sure you get fresh air and you go for a good walk where you could carry on a conversation with the person next to you. That's
I
so
love it. I love that. Okay, I get it. Well, listen, I know I've been on your calls on Saturday morning, and you have these amazing Saturday morning calls that you're really giving information out about COVID and understanding the truth about COVID, and you're really helping. I know you helped me and my wife really dispel a lot of myths and fears around what's going on. So we feel great. So can you tell us a little bit about your Saturday program and what you talk about there, so people can get tuned in?
absolutely. Well, we are so passionate about our Saturday morning webinars. They're every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And just as you were saying, we take a deep dive and try to give you, separate fact from fiction so that you can feel empowered, and give you very practical tips as well on what you can do to really enhance your immune system, and also take action so that you don't feel helpless. And so if you text V like victory clinic to 888-111, and then you will receive a text message where you can actually register for our webinar. So again, that's V clinic, V is in victory clinic, to 888-111. And then from that link that will be sent as a text message, you can register and then join us on Saturday mornings, and we have live Q&A, and we bring out a lot of information. We really want to empower you and get you in the best of health.
I want to say one more thing. If you haven't met Mama Chari, you got to meet Mama Chari. Mama Chari is the coolest, wisest little light on this planet that I know here, at least in San Diego. She's just a brilliant light who every week comes on, and this is Dr. Chari's mom, comes on and shares her wisdom, her strength, her hope with the audience. You just can't miss it. It's really powerful. So I hope you'll check that out. Okay, you have you've got to close up here with this segment, but you got the microphone to the world right now. What's your message to the world right now, Dr. Chari?
Sure. Well, we want you to feel empowered. Know that the transition we're going through, even though we know it's stressful and you may be going through all the emotions that more than you've ever faced in such a short period of time, we've all been there too. We want you to know that you're not alone, but know that what is coming out of this is a golden age of awakening, where we are going to actually come together and be more united more than ever before, and that we're going to make it through this, and we're going to make it through this with best of health, wellness, prosperity. And we are through a transition phase, but we want you to know you're not alone. We're all in this together, and we're going to come out stronger than ever.
Gosh, I love having you here. I love hearing that message. And please be sure to give my love to your brother Deepak and also your mama Chari. And thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ken, for having me on your show.
It's awesome. All righty. We're going to be talking to my next guest. Before I get there, though, I'd like to give a shout out to actually her company. JBK Wellness is an amazing organization. So if you have a dream to create a wellness product, I'd like to talk to you about JBK Labs. They are a respected contract and white label manufacturer who helps companies develop and manufacture dietary supplements, topical personal care beauty products, and hemp-based CBD products. JBK Wellness products can be found in high-end resorts, including Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, as well as national grocery chains such as Whole Foods. They will walk you through each step from concept to finished product. If you'd like to take your next step in getting your product to market, then start your project. Start it today and contact jbwellnesslabs.com. That's jbwellnesslabs.com. I hope you'll check us out. All righty. Well, guess what? Oh, I got to give one more shout out real quick to another organization that I just love, and then we'll get to my next guest. So if you're a company or an organization and you're out to change the world and you need a team that produces results to take your message to the next level, Wasabi Publicity is the perfect fit. They're recognized by PR Week and Good Morning America for their innovative business practices. Wasabi Publicity works with companies and individuals committed to doing good in the world. How cool is that? Whether it's creating an engaging website, building a passionate social media tribe, or connecting your clients with top media and influencers like Good Morning America, the New York Times, or Oprah, everything that you need is with Wasabi Publicity. So I hope you'll check them out. That's Wasabi Publicity, WASABI publicity.com. You can just Google them. And their CEO, Drew Gerber, will be right there with you. You can talk to him directly, ask for Drew, and tell him that we sent you from Voices of Courage. Okay. I hope you'll do that. All righty. Now, back to my show here. All right. I'm so excited. Look who I have in studio. I have Dr. Janelle Kim. She is an American-born daughter of a Korean father and an American mother. Janelle Kim learned from an early age the power behind the centuries-old medicine and principles passed down from her mentors, the same principles that have allowed her to live a life of meaning and purpose. As the founder and chief formulator of JBK Wellness Labs, Dr. Kim continues to preserve the medical history of her family and further her love of medicine and understanding of the human mind and body. Dr. Kim completed extensive training in East Asia under some of the most respected doctors in the field of Oriental medicine and is the custodian of her family's proprietary Bing Bong formulas. We're going to be talking about those today. Dr. Kim, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much, and I'm so happy to be here.
We're having a great show today. This is amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Let's kind of take a dive in. Right now I know you're on the cutting edge with the CBD hemp formulations, taking those herbs, which have been traditional herbs in the Orient for many, many years. You told me they date back 4,000 years. So why are you doing that? What's happening with that? What's going on with that?
Right. So it goes back even before the CBD hemp industry, right? So I have been involved in herbal medicine, I say, since the day I arrived on this earth. I didn't always know I'd go down this path, but certainly in my young adult years, I realized, having grown up with these incredible proprietary formulas that I have watched help so many different people throughout my life, I came a point in my life where I realized, the world has to know about this. More of the world has to know about this. And so I set out to do just that, to share these formulas and the understanding of Eastern medicine, Chinese medicine, Korean medicine, and how you can integrate both East and West together, so that you are able to empower yourself in such a way to have the best condition possible. Because when we are healthy and have an incredible condition mentally and physically, we can lead a beautiful and happy life. So we started, myself, my partner and husband, Craig Nandu, we started building brands, of course, always creating formulas for skincare, dietary supplements. I've been in the beauty and wellness industry almost 20 years now. And then come 2012, which as we understand, and the CBD industry is light years away, we entered exactly that, into the CBD industry. And we worked with the pioneers of the industry, as they're known today, to manufacture some incredible formulas. And it's a really special thing because we are used to being at the forefront of big things that the world doesn't really know about yet. About 15, 20 years ago, I was in the beginning of the natural products industry, and certainly still find myself at the forefront of the herbal medicine industry. And in 2012, CBD came along, which was basically your question. How did I get involved?
Yeah, that's good. Well, it kind of came full loop. Why herbal medicine? I mean, we use so many drugs here in the United States that seem to cure. I don't know if they cure, but they sure treat the symptoms really well. Why herbal medicine?
Right. Herbal medicine, and you said it beautifully just now. I really do have to say that I am literally a walking example of East and West. And so I really believe there's a place for both. I always say when to do, when not to do. And that's what empowers us to be able to make that decision. Herbal medicine is a way, in short, to really generalize, is a way that you truly can build your condition in such a way and maintain your condition in such a way that hopefully you don't ever get sick. I always say, why do we wait until something hurts really badly to pay attention? Why do we wait until we don't feel good to pay attention? That's not the way it's supposed to be. And so if we incorporate certain things, particularly herbal medicine, herbal supplementation, in such a way where it becomes part of our daily life, it's all a lifestyle. If we're able to improve and strengthen our condition, no matter what we face, we're able to balance with that. And that's the most important thing. And herbal medicine, in my experience, is basically one of the most of doing so without a lot of harsh side effects.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And today with what's going on in the country with the COVID, the shutdown, it seems like it's more important, as I talked to my first guest this morning, Dr. Chari, more important than ever to really pay attention to our bodies, to pay attention to what our bodies need, and be able to take the right prescriptions. And a lot of that does come from natural products, has been my experience. Right. And I'm like you. If I'm in pain, I know one thing. I know I can find some good pain pills, right, from my Western doctor. If I need to get cut up, I'm not probably going over to the East right now to get surgery.
Right.
I'm probably going to stay in the West. But if I want to prevent things and I want to live a healthy, vital life, I'm using Eastern medicine all the time, me personally. So I
Right.
think
Yes.
that's a lot about what we're talking about here. I want to dive into JBK Wellness Labs. I'm so happy you're a new sponsor on the show, so I just want to get that out there,
As are we.
and that's really awesome. You know, I looked at you guys a lot, which is what I do before I take on a sponsor. I'm sure you did the same with us.
Of
But I
course.
really think we have such a great match because of
Yes.
the values that you align with in the products and services that you're putting out in the world. Talk about JBK, when it came into being. What are you guys doing? What are you passionate about? What's your mission?
Sure. So our mission, my mission specifically, is I can break it down like this. I feel so grateful that in this life I have the opportunity to have medicine and philosophy that have been passed down to me from centuries of knowledge. And to me, there's no choice but to make sure that I do everything possible to share that with as many people as possible. Particularly, as you said, in moments that we find ourselves like we are in right now. It's so vital. And so that's where this all comes from, and everything is rooted in that. As I started to say, about 20 years ago, I broke into the beauty and wellness industry. That's not exactly where I thought my life was going. I truly pictured, after studying Eastern medicine, pouring my heart and soul into that I would have a whole bunch of clinics in my life, right? And have patients, because it was my favorite thing. And life kept pulling me to ultimately take these formulas into more of a mainstream way. And we entered, I entered into mainstream, let's say, with herbal medicine through the skincare industry. And I'm really grateful for that. This is a long story short, because I started to realize, even though I fought it in the beginning, because like I said, it was my wish to have clinics, to be able to treat patients with the medicine that I know that has made so many positive changes in life, as I have seen it for centuries, as they have been handed down, right? And then one day I realized it's so important, as you and I have talked briefly, Ken, to change our perspective sometimes. And in that moment, I realized how silly of me to feel like I am not achieving what it is that what I thought my wish was. Why don't I look at it like a World Food Clinic? Why don't I open up the doors? And I am the very first woman in my lineage to be the guardian of these formulas. And I'm the very first to put them out in the public in such a way. And so I am so committed to that. And we do so at JBK Wellness Labs. We create custom formulations. And actually, we're so excited because for the first time, we've been working very hard to do this. And we're finally able to do this. We are opening up a new division, which is for white label, which means more people have access to these formulas. We can break into that maybe later another time. But ultimately, that means that more and more people can get these formulas that can really change their life, whether it be skincare, dietary supplements, nutraceuticals, muscle and joint type of formulas that really help to strengthen and can help with certain discomforts, right? And so that's how we can make it a lifestyle, and you truly can take control of your own life and your own health. And through these formulas, I have seen time and time again people do so.
Wow. Well, listen, I do want to take a little deeper dive into white labeling, and also, some of our audience is sitting out there, and I know that they have formulas in their families, or maybe they've worked with some scientists, and or maybe they have a passion around maybe healing a certain thing, or bringing awareness to a product that might not be there. Let's talk about white labeling, and let's talk about how somebody can work with JBK Labs to really get their product to market.
Absolutely, Ken. So ultimately, how it works is someone comes to us with an idea, and how, for example, as I previously mentioned, we are pretty much one of the most well-known manufacturers in CBD, for example. And so we certainly do focus on that with our lightweight label, because that is such a big and important ingredient right now. I travel the world explaining and educating on this incredible ingredient, herbal ingredient. Before we decided JBK to jump in, I have to tell you, I turned down some offers from, like I said, the pioneers of this industry when I first heard they wanted to work with this powerful ingredient, because I didn't know where they were coming from. But it was really important to me when I started to see that they were using this herbal ingredient, almost like a forgotten herbal ingredient. They were using it for the correct intentions. They were helping children. They were helping people in such a way that I certainly knew about, and I certainly recognize. So I decided to commit myself to helping to educate properly on what hemp CBD is, open up the doors for people to further understand the powers of herbal medicine. Remember, as you said briefly, this goes back 4,000 years. CBD and these herbal ingredients go back 4,000, 8,000 years ago in our ancient medical systems, Ayurvedic, Chinese medicine. And so when you start to understand the power of that and understand that CBD is one of the 50 fundamental herbs, and we work with a lot of those fundamental herbs in our formulation, that is how we started to come out. And that is why people started searching for us. We have a very strong reputation in the natural products and the luxurious natural products industry, certainly in CBD, because people found us because of our good reputation for understanding proper formulas, for understanding herbal ingredients, and for understanding formulation with those. It's not that easy. And they know that we truly care. And so we have the luxury of choosing who we work with. And that's really
I love
important
that.
to us
Well,
because we never forget
it's not easy to formulate these products. And I want to ask you something about that, because I think bioavailability with these products is really important. How do you make sure that you're, working with JBK? What is it that you do? And I'm just kind of fishing because I'm not familiar with this process at all. But how do you increase the bioavailability of a product?
Okay, so here's the thing. You can have the best ingredient in the entire world, but if it can't get into your body, and if your body can't assimilate all those good properties, then really it's no good. And furthermore, what people don't understand is that if you put such a good ingredient into your body and it's not properly assimilated, it can actually, and it's not eliminated properly, it can actually sit in your body and become toxic. It's a really important thing for people to understand, whether it's vitamins, whether it's supplements, whether it's our skincare. Understand the importance of proper formulation. And when you have proper formulas, that means the herbs, for example, the ingredients, all of the ingredients within that formula, they work together to make the perfect recipe. So I like to call it the perfect food for the skin, the perfect food for the body, right? Whether it's nutraceuticals, dietary supplements. It's so very important.
Well, I might have needed to ask Dr. Chari this in my last segment, but when somebody's taking a whole bunch of different supplements and stuff, and maybe I'm getting off on here. So what you're saying is that actually could be that could be a negative thing. That could be that's not necessarily a good thing. It depends on bioavailability, and and if it's not bioavailable, it might be sitting there toxic in your system. Is that what I'm hearing?
This is true. That's on the extreme end, but very, very important for people to understand. Everything that we put into our body, let's start here. You have to know your body. And that's the number one thing what we educate about. But first of all, you have to strengthen your body and feel it in such a way that you understand how you're feeling. How many times I see patients or people out there who don't even realize that their condition is not up to par. And that doesn't even mean it's optimal, just up to par where you feel comfortable and you feel good and can live your day to the greatest. And so that's really important to understand. So yes, you're exactly right. It's a lot harder to hurt your body using natural medicine, natural supplements, but let's do the very best that we can. And that's where people really have to start to educate themselves and become aware and start to understand why it's important to have different ingredients work synergistically together, for example, or what is good for my body at any given moment in time. And it can be as simple as just checking in. My favorite thing is to just make things simple. In a world where there's so much and things can be so overwhelming, just take a moment and start to feel where you're standing, where your mind is at. It's a very simple thing that goes along with my living meditation system, right? Which is just check in. We can meditate at any given moment in our life just by being aware.
Well, listen, I gotta give a little shout out to a couple sponsors here, but when I come back, I think I want to take a little deeper dive into living meditation. What is that, and how does that play in when you're working with a new product provider at JBK Labs? Alrighty, so let me just mention a couple of my people here. I have a organization called Cure a Life. Cura Life is it's actually they're a product developer. And if you are somebody that you're looking for a natural science-based supplement, which will improve the quality of your life, and if you have chronic conditions, pay attention. The product's called Curalin, and it's 100% natural glucose-supported supplement for people looking to maintain maintain healthy blood sugar levels without negative effects. It works by blending ancient Ayurvedic practices with modern science and technology into a spectacular synergistic glucose supplement formula. Each Curelin capsule is manufactured close to the source using only premium ingredients. So if you'd like to learn more about Curelin and how to let go of maybe toxicity in your blood sugar levels, then go to curealife.com. That's CURALIFE, curealife.com. And when you go there, by the way, if you click on the shop button and you put in the code COURAGE, like Voices of Courage, you're going to receive $20 off your first order and 15% off for the rest of the year on any products that you buy from them. So again, it's curealife.com. I hope you'll check them out. They really have some great stuff there. Also, I want to mention there's an organization called Villa Kalima, and they help individuals that are dealing with anxiety, addiction, maybe some other issues that you may have, that you'd like to finally get help with that. A lot of people are starting now with the shutdown. They've seen their addictions, they've seen their problems, and they're ready now to go and get real help. Now, this isn't a Band-Aid company. This is a company that offers proven clinical and holistic therapies for mind, body, and spirit. They, which of course will assure your recovery. Villa Kalima focus on healing the cause, not temporarily masking symptoms. And of course, as you know, it's the only way to recover 100%. Villa Kalima is located in a beautiful, peaceful, resort-like setting and is a licensed and accredited residential treatment center accepting a variety of healthcare insurances. If you're ready, today's the day. Give them a call. 760-814-8214, 760-814-8214, or just Google Villa Kalima in La Costa, California. It's Villa, Cali, Kalima. Okay, I hope you'll check them out because they will help you take your life to a whole new level. I am speaking right now with Dr. Janelle Kim. She is the founder and Chief Formulation Officer of JBK Wellness Labs. And Dr. Kim, all right, we're back. Let's take that little deeper dive into that. What'd you say? The practicing of meditation. How is that?
Right.
What was that? The field
a system
of meditation
that I call living meditation.
Living meditation. There
Something
it
like
is.
that, right?
All
All these
go.
words, you know. And the whole purpose of it is to make it as simple as possible. That's how we ended up in this conversation. How do we make things as simple as possible so they just make sense to people? You know,
that's right.
It's not just more words or more things we have to memorize.
That's it. Well, so what is a living meditation? How do we do that?
So living meditation is basically a way to incorporate the results that we wish to achieve from, for example, what we understand to be meditation. So like I say, anything that we do in life, whether it's taking supplements, whether it's exercising, whether it's sitting down to meditate, it is my firm belief and feeling that we should take a moment to recognize and just basically put our intention, just check in for a second. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why is this important? When we use natural products, why is it important to use natural products? When we want to sit down to meditate, why is it important to sit down to meditate? Okay, when you use natural products, for example, speaking on JBK, kind of to end there, or to go back there for a second, I like to break it down like this: our body, our life, we have to come in contact with so many different things that can be challenging for us to balance with, right? We have pollution, toxin, we have all of the things going around us that can cause our body and mind to be stressed. So what is the most important thing we can do? Help our bodies so that we are able to function at our optimum. And that's why natural products, for example, or natural ingredients, natural food can be that much better for us to use in our life, right? So it just makes sense. That's my favorite thing. So when it comes down to living meditation, for example, this is what I like to break down. There's 3 pillars in life. And if we kind of balance those, we can achieve a life of happiness and a good condition inside and out. That's medicine, philosophy, and movement. So I just kind of touched on the medicine food aspect. When it comes to philosophy or the way we live our life, That is where living meditation comes into play. So we hear so much lately about meditating, especially in a time where things can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of stress. So meditation is really becoming even more powerful than it ever was before, as a way to what? Calm our mind, calm our body, become aware of ourselves, and make sure that we're balanced and can handle as much as possible. Because the more balance we have in our life, the more we can handle, right? The more we can live our life to the fullest. But sometimes I tell you what, this is where I said before, my favorite thing is to make things simple. Let's just break it down for a second. There's so much for us to memorize, even when it comes to meditation. And I started to see, okay, I totally get it. As a mom of 2 young boys running my company, I'm very close to my whole family, taking care of so many people I love. And it feels like that, just like how I said it, right? It's like it builds, and the anxiety can build for a lot of people. And then you have to think on top of that about saying how to meditate. Well, the reality is, if meditation becomes stressful, you're not having any of the effects it's supposed to be, right? So why can't we take a moment to realize that meditation can happen at any given moment in our life? You know, if I'm sitting there, we just ended but homeschooling my son, trying to work on an article, getting conference calls, the dog's barking, my 3-year-old's running around. You know what? The funny thing is, I can take 1 second to check in, align myself, take a breath. Literally, it just takes maybe 1 second, it's a little fast, but a couple of seconds to take a breath, you find something I'm grateful in, that's my trigger, right? That kind of helps to rebalance and ground me. And I tell you what, that one moment in time where I can become that much more aware, that much more balanced, I'm able to handle that much more within the next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours the next day. To me, that's a very good example of living meditation. It's mindfulness and the principles of the Tao kind of coming together as one to make us very aware and very powerful.
Well, you know what I love about that is that you apply it to business, you apply it to your personal life, you apply it to your family life. You know, it's like you said, it's a living meditation. I think that's really powerful. All right, I want to jump back into business a little bit here with you. What's you know, what's exciting with at JBK Wellness Labs right now? What are you guys excited about? What new products or services are coming on board? That you know, and I asked that for 2 reasons. One, because I want to know what you're excited about and what's going on, but also I want to get my listeners jazzed up. If you got a product out there that you're thinking about bringing to market, listen, who cooler or better to bring it to market than Dr. Janelle Kim with you? I can't think of anybody. So that's kind of where I'm going with that.
Thank you
So,
for that, Ken.
okay, what are you excited about?
I appreciate that. Okay, so we have so much. Every moment I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for that, right? So I am so excited because we are constantly making new products, right? In the custom manufacturing side of things, we are constantly making new skincare products, supplements, nutraceuticals, you know, hand sanitizer, you name it, we're doing that. But something I'm really excited about is the fact that we are in fact launching our vision of white label. So we will always kind of our main focus is in our contract manufacturing, which means it's a higher minimum for the potential clients and clients that we have. You know, you have to order at least 5 to 10,000 units, which I realize can be very hard for people. Okay, and that means whether it's skincare, dietary supplements, nutraceuticals. Okay, so basically someone comes into our office, our lab, and they will tell us either they have a concept, they have a formula, they have an ingredient. Sometimes they'll come with simply, like I said, just a concept. And it's our job to formulate the most beautiful, the most effective products possible. And that is exactly what we do. But it's always in the back of my mind, as we discussed before, what is the purpose behind what we do? It is my mission and my commitment to make sure that I get these formulas to as many people as possible. And with the custom manufacturing side, it's a little bit harder. It will always be the most unique and special products out there. That's just the truth, right? But with our white label division, we are able to take some of our properly formulated formulas, products, right? Particularly in the CBD industry. And we started to touch on, and we didn't finish, why it may be important to combine CBD with other ingredients. And that is how I started with a lot of the pioneers in the CBD industry. CBD is a powerful ingredient, for example, and you find it everywhere. And this can be with a lot of different ingredients. But what can make that ingredient that much more powerful is when you know how to properly formulate with other synergistic ingredients. With that, you get the more bioavailable properties. The properties of CBD become more bioavailable, and you get the function of all of the other herbal ingredients. And this is an example, right? So whether it be skincare, dietary supplements, for example, you have CBD in a supplement. It can be very good for daily wellness. But what if we want to make it better for calming? What if we want to make it better for energy or muscle and joint? That's where we start to combine with other ingredients. And skincare, of course, a cleanser versus an anti-aging serum. And this is our specialty, okay? But with the white label division, we're able to create some of our most favorite formulas and basically keep them in stock in our lab. so that we give the opportunity to other people who maybe do not have the access to having so much of a quantity or inventory. And so this is really exciting because to me, I'm staying true to my commitment of truly letting these formulas out to the world so that people can really benefit. But also during this moment in time, I have to acknowledge on the business end, which of course my husband, Craig Nandu, the president of JBK, talks about more often, but it is something that makes me excited that possibly this is a great moment to be launching this, because it can also give people an opportunity to really start to grow in business during a time where things have slowed down a lot. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm excited, particularly about our white label.
That's great. I love hearing that from you. Okay, listen, we're just about out of time, but I want to give